Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Mondays with Maury, with me, Maury Yelvington of Morph, Transform Your Reality, where I help you step out of trauma and reclaim your power. If this is the first time you're watching me live, welcome to my world. I'm honored that you're here. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, so I can thank you in person. And if you've been watching me for a while, then welcome back. I'm really happy that you are here and experiencing the magic with me. So what I try to do in these Monday lives that I've been doing for over a few years now is to bring awareness to places that maybe you're not seeing, something that's blocking you, something that's keeping you stuck, and sharing my own experiences, my own stories, how you can actually hack your subconscious and use the awarenesses to shift what's keeping you stuck. Okay, and so today what I want to share with you about is self-worth, because in the last week or so, 2 weeks now, that topic has been coming up a lot, and especially for me in places that I didn't even know was blocking me. And it came up first in a session I had with a friend of mine, Fiona. We exchanged healings. So this came up 2 weeks ago, right before we went to Vegas for my grandma's celebration of life. So this, I want to say, month and a half has been a very whirlwind for me with losing my grandma, a lot of big shifts and changes in our family and things that we're going through. And then went to Vegas to the celebration of life, came back, and all of us gotten really sick with a virus. I'm just coming over a virus if my voice doesn't sound so great, that's why. And so the root beliefs that we found in the healing that I had with her before the trip had to do with self-worth and worthiness and commitment. How much our commitments feed our self-worth. And it was this huge realization. That day I also taught the manifestation class, and it tied in so beautifully how much our self-worth determines what we actually allow to show up, what we actually allow to manifest, what we actually allow to come in. And so by not being aware, okay, and this is the key, awareness. I say this all the time. Awareness is the nemesis to your subconscious. The more aware you can be about where you're blocking yourself subconsciously and in your body, the more things are going to show up the way you want them to show up. So many times we feel like life just happens to us, versus we are going through something. It's a learning experience to get us to a higher conscious. Well, what if you could use my examples, my stories, to actually level up your subconscious? What if you didn't have to go through the trauma? What if you don't have to go through the turmoil? What if you could just take the examples? Or what if you already experienced enough trauma where you could just learn from it, process it, release it from your body, heal it, let it go? So what I want to tune into with you about is, where does your self-worth come from? What fulfills you and makes you feel worthy? Okay. And just breathe into that for a minute. So take a deep breath in and breathe out. And ask yourself, what is my worth? What am I worth? Am I worth millions of dollars? Am I worth to be unconditionally loved? Am I worth to find the love of my life? Am I worth to work in my dream job? Am I worth? Does my worth come from being a great parent? Does my worth come from doing a great job? Does my worth come from filling my commitment to my family? Does my worth come from bringing in a big paycheck? What if your self-worth wasn't determined by the actions or your commitments or the ideas, the thoughts, feelings, emotions that others have about you, that you have about you in relation to others? What if your self-worth was a story told to you by this reality to make you a slave to this reality? What if You are already worthy. What if there is no meter for your self-worth? What if you being you was enough? What if you being you, doing you, dressing you, talking you, speaking you, feeling you was enough? What if that has nothing to do with what you do, with how much money you bring in, with how good of a mom you are, with if you made dinner tonight or fold enough laundry? What if none of that had to do with your worthiness? What if your worthiness was only determined by your kindness, by your heart, by the joy that you put out into the world? I want you to tune into the question, if you were an infinite being, does an infinite being have a worth? No. Does your soul has a worth? Or is it naturally worthy? You were born worthy. There's no actions or commitments that you need to take or do to prove your worth to anybody. But we get tied into the game of this reality of having to do in order to be worthy. So if you want to play this with me, take out a piece of paper and start writing down, what are your commitments, your actions that you've been doing that have been filling up the worthy cup, and how much of that actually feels aligned to who you are and what you want to do, and how much of it aligns to other people's expectations. It could be the place you're living. It could be the house you're living in. Okay, does that determine your worth? Does your possessions determine your worth? Okay, tune into that and start writing it down. And there's no judgment here. This is just between you and yourself to get awareness to where you are spending your time and energy, and if that really aligns with who you are and who you came here to be, and if it really aligns with what you desire to create. Because this is the thing. If your self-worth is coming from other people's approve of you, then you're never going to feel worthy. And you're always going to bring people into your life that don't approve of you, that don't like you for real, for who you are. If your self-worth is determined by money, it doesn't matter how much money you bring in. It's never going to be enough. If your self-worth is determined by somebody else loving you, then nobody is ever going to love you enough because you don't love yourself. And so when we go into manifestation and we start manifesting these things and we're asking to find the love of our life, if our self-worth bucket isn't filled, we're going to bring in somebody that's going to answer those questions, those criteria subconsciously. We're not aware of it, but now we're talking about it, so we are. So in order to bring more awareness, play with this. Write down where you feel like your self-worth is filling, where you're filling your self-worth cup from. Notice if these are things that you're lacking in your life. Notice if these are things that when you're actually getting them, are they making you feel full, or is it immediately depleted again and it needs to be filled again? Okay, ask yourself where you're putting on yourself all the pressure. Notice that a lot of times where we put on ourselves all the pressure is where we think our self-worth is coming from. So if you feel like all your self-worth is coming from hard work, you're going to put so much pressure into your hard work, and you're just going to keep getting harder work, and it's going to be more and more pressure, and you're going to feel like you're caving in and you have no energy. So you're going to write on one column all the things that you have bought into that are bringing and creating your self-worth. And then on your other column, you're going to write things that fulfill you. Things that you're grateful yourself for being, for already being, for the person that you are, for the kindness that you are. The more you can focus on the gratitude, and as long as you can focus on how grateful you are for you, that cup would be filled. And so when you start thinking of your self-worth, you already know that you're worthy. And if you can tune into, I am worthy, you can use this affirmation. I am worthy for who I be. I am worthy for who I be, for who I am. You can say this affirmation to yourself throughout your day and feel it in every cell and every molecule of your body, and start reliving and living that and being that affirmation. Other things will start coming in. And the pressure that you've been experiencing from work, or maybe your health, or maybe your love life, that stuff will start fading away because it won't have as much charge, because it's not filling the cup. Okay? So, if this was a contribution, please share. I know I don't sound amazing because I don't feel amazing yet, but I'm working on it. It's been a hell of a week. I actually never had such an intense virus. And the interesting part is I have a book that relates and talks about all the different diseases that we have in our body and subconscious beliefs. And viruses is related so much to self-worth. And I thought that was very interesting because, this reality is all built on our worthiness and using our unworthiness to commit to things that are supposed to make us feel worthy, when it's such a lie. So if you can tune into that lie, if you can bring the awareness to that lie, if you can see the light of that lie, you'll also be maybe aware of, wow, how many people got coronavirus, and that's also related to worthiness, and how much of us are buying into the idea that we're not worthy when we are worthy just the way we are. So tune into it, play with it, let me know if this has brought something up for you. Let me know if this has shifted something for you. If you feel like it's bringing stuff up and you don't know how to process it and you need some help and support, please reach out, book a free consultation. I would love to connect with you. Drop a comment. I would love to text with you. I'm here to support you on your spiritual journey. I believe that we're all growing and evolving constantly. And doing it together just makes it so much easier. I hope you have a fabulous day. If this was a contribution, please share with your friends and loved ones. It means the world to me, and it also helps spread the word so more and more of us can be, dealing with less traumatic experiences and living our best life. I adore you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.